right, how's everybody in my favorite zoology class doing today? Hopefully, very well. So, we're ready to move on with our next section of arthropods. Today, we're going to talk about the myriapods, which are the centipedes and millipedes. Similar on the surface, but we're going to find out that they're pretty different. So, let's go ahead and get started with them. The myriapods. Again, these are the centipedes and the millipedes. All right, so this guy here is holding up a very large centipede. Hopefully, that doesn't give you too much of the willies. There's another centipede right there. So we're going to find out that the difference between centipedes and millipedes structurally is pretty subtle, but you're going to find out that they are very different creatures. So let's go back. That one is a centipede. This one is a millipede. You may notice a difference in their body structures, but we'll talk more in detail about them when we get there. So here's another millipede. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with them. They are in, again, because this is still phylum Arthropoda, and they're going to be classified in superclass Myriapoda. And the two classes under superclass Myriapoda are Chilopoda, which are the centipedes, and Diplopoda, which are the millipedes. And then after that, we're going to talk about superclass Hexapoda, and then which we will get into the biggest of all, and that is class Insecta. But today is going to be a short one. Today we're only going to focus on the class, the superclass Myriapoda. All right. So the myriapods, like all uniramians, they have uniramious appendages, which mean their legs, whether they're millipedes or centipedes, are only going to terminate into one fine point. So they do not have pinchers. They walk up on each leg is just one point. They also, both millipedes and centipedes, also have chewing mandibles or chewing mouth parts and legs on most of their body segments. So we're going to find out that structurally the difference between a centipede and a millipede is, so if you look at the word centi means 100, and everybody says, oh, well, centipedes have 100 legs, and milli means 1,000, so a millipede has 1,000 legs, and that's not the case. That's an urban legend. That is a common misnomer. You might even call it a wives' tale. The fact of the matter is that centipedes have one pair of walking legs per body segment. So if their body is 18 segments long, they'll have 18 pairs of walking legs, in essence. Millipedes are double, so they have two pair of walking legs per body segment. So if a millipede has 18 body segments, then it's going to have 36 pairs of walking legs. There are about 3,000 species of myriapods, both centipedes and millipedes. The centipedes are nocturnal predators that are well adapted to chasing down insects and other small prey. They are very active, very fast, rather voracious predators, and some of the big ones are pretty impressive with some of the prey that they can take. The millipedes are going to be exactly the opposite of the centipedes. Centipede appendages on the first segment are modified as their mouth parts are venomous fangs. So their legs, their appendages, which would be their legs, on that first segment only are going to be venomous fangs. So they do have a venomous bite. All other body segments except for the last two body segments have one pair of walking legs. So as I was saying earlier, centipedes have one pair of walking legs per segment. Millipedes have two. The number of walking legs range anywhere from 15 to 181 pairs. So see, it is not a simple cut and dry of centipede. Centi means 100, they have 100 legs. It will depend on the species, and anywhere from 15 to 181 pairs. So 181 pairs, that's a lot of walking legs. Millipedes, on the other hand, are about 8,000 species that have been identified, and they are the exact opposite. They are not predators, they are decomposers. They eat on decaying vegetation and are adapted for burrowing through rotten logs and humus rather than predation. So you'll find them in leaf piles, wet, damp, rotting plant material. Dead, old, rotten logs. You roll them over, you'll find some millipedes. That's their job. They are totally opposite of their cousins. Centipedes are active predators. Millipedes have these tall, kind of fat bodies that they're slow. They're the opposite of the centipedes. Centipedes are flat and are fast. Millipedes are taller, thicker body, a more robust tubular body, and are very slow. When you're a decomposer, you don't have to be fast. You don't have to chase anything down. So that is the structural difference. As I said earlier, millipedes have 2 pair of legs per segment and are positioned beneath that robust, that thick body, and they are synchronized to move in a slow wave-like motion. If you've ever watched a millipede walk, their legs, they do the wave. It's hard to explain, but you can see they step in synchronicity. As you can see there, they take steps in waves. It's kind of cool to watch them walk. No millipede has 1,000 legs, as I was saying earlier. The maximum number is 752 legs. So even though their name is millipede, and milli means 100 or 1,000, excuse me, no millipede has that many legs. They usually have about 100 legs, or 50 pairs, and are restricted to moist areas under logs, stones, and leaf litter, as I was saying earlier. All right, so that's a quick, short one. So take an easy one for today. This is all we're going to do on today's lecture is millipedes. We're going to stop here before we get into the insects. All right, so that's all we have for today. It's a quick one, just a short one. The next video series will be about the insects, and that will be a little larger, because let's face it, insects are the big major player when it comes to phylum Arthropoda. So hopefully this wasn't too hard on you, this quick short one. So go ahead, we know the drill. Go on over to Schoology, find your exit slip for Arthropod lesson 4, video lesson 4. Go ahead and answer those few questions, and you're good for today. All right. Hope everybody's staying safe, and I sure do miss you guys, and I'll talk at you later.